Good afternoon, John Verlin back with you again with On-Demand Advertising Solutions, podcast number 16, Digital Marketing Update. Last week I said I was going to rant this week, and I am. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Getting right to it, there was a piece that I'm going to tie in some of the comments this person made. Brent Gleason had a great piece last month in Inc. magazine. He's a former Navy SEAL. And it ties in with what I want to talk about, and that is complacency in small business. Now, he's referring to complacency in larger businesses. It's the same basic stuff. What I'm shocked at, to be honest with you, I see small businesses who don't have a website, they don't have a Facebook business page, they barely have a business card, and if they do, it's cheap looking, flimsy. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what are they thinking? There was on LinkedIn, now this is a 500 million member platform worldwide, right? A couple of weeks ago, I see a lawyer making a post on LinkedIn. We specialize in blah, 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 legal services, da, da, da. Click here to learn more about us. Hashtag lawyer, hashtag, and about 10 or 12 hashtag cities in the area. And maybe, he was thinking of Instagram, or he just copied that from an Instagram photo because he had so many hashtag words and that sort of thing. But my first reaction, what is this, a joke? That's literally my first reaction. This is a lawyer that posted this on LinkedIn. So I click on the link, and guess what I get? One-page blog. That's it. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this guy is a lawyer, for crying out loud. Did somebody not tell him at lawyer school to make yourself look presentable and look good in your marketing? Well, I guess lawyers may not market. I don't know. They didn't used to. They'd get referrals all the time, but it's more competitive today. But I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what is this guy thinking? He either doesn't care or nobody's told him, but it's lazy. It has a terrible presence. Now keep in mind, and you've heard this before, I've talked about this, and I'm sure you've read blog posts about all this. In this new age with digital platforms, shifting from brick and mortar, and we're seeing this happen a lot, your storefront is now online, whether you like it or not. And it's going to be research that guides that. They're going to want to know about law, let's say, with this lawyer, and they're going to go search for him. And if they see a blog page come up and that's it, what do you think they're going to think before they even call him? Oh, maybe they saw the LinkedIn post and now they want to find out about him. They've gone and clicked on the link. It's gone to a blog page. Now they search for him, and nothing comes up except that blog page. What do you think they're going to think? People search, and then they go. And that's kind of the thing. They want to know about the business. If you don't have a web presence that looks good, that looks functioning, on top of that, a blog where you're posting content on a regular basis, and this is what we talk about, we do for our clients. It's critical because this is your storefront. This is the image people see. And Mr. Gleason talked about the complacency he sees in business organizations, and it's from leadership on down. There's a lack of, he says there's a number of reasons for complacency, but the lack of any real visible crisis, the wrong performance measurement criteria, too many leaders drinking their own Kool-Aid, too much positive communication coupled with fear of real transparency, a culture based on self-preservation rather than calculated risk. Now, I don't know why small businesses are complacent about this, and this may be part of it. They think they're great. Maybe they created something and they got a lot of orders up front. Now they think they're great and they don't need anything else. I don't know. But that's a complacent attitude that one of these days their competitors are going to come in and eat their lunch, and then they're going to go, well, what should I have done different? And I'm saying there's a lack of sort of a urgency and alignment that businesses are kind of going through, and this is like an epidemic countrywide. I mean, it's amazing. It really is a leadership wake-up call for anybody in any organization, but particularly small businesses, because this is it. You could be a mom and pop business, and this is what you're doing as a second gig, or maybe it's your primary business. Now, Mr. Gleason talks about, and I love this, he goes in to talk about what they learned in Navy SEALs, and that what set them apart from their peers was speed, surprise, and violence of action. Now, most organizations continue to succeed and innovate. They have a culture poised for positive change and taking risk, and they don't wait for the ship to spring a leak. They're proactive. They constantly set aggressive goals, Mr. Gleason says. And I love all that. He says they tell the good, bad, and ugly with brutal, transparent communication. Okay? Now, you've got, particularly with a small business, you've got to be able to be proactive, and that's what I'm talking about. Get your ducks in a row. Get your online presence so that when people click on to search for you, they find a website, they find a blog, it's fluid. You've got business cards that match. You maybe have a uniform. I'm a big proponent of if you're doing a networking, wearing a shirt with your logo on it, and that's your brand. All this is your brand. It's all linked. But be proactive about putting it together and making it work. Promote it through social media or your advertising, whatever, but have a presence online. And this is what I'm just shocked at, as I say, that a lot of small businesses I think are lacking. Sales materials, marketing materials, regular communication with your customers. You can do this online now with social media. It should be a given. Answer questions. Get back with emails, whatever it is. This is all from leadership. This is all you as an owner. So taking this proactive look is critical. And of course, if you have employees, it's your leadership from the top down. You've got to communicate with them. You've got to empower them. And you've got to reward behaviors that align with these goals. These are things Mr. Gleason talks about to prevent this complacency. And if you yourself are a small business and it's just you and another person, you got to take action, proactive action, to get your ducks in order, to promote your business so that when people do come to you online, they have a fluid experience. That's the beginning of the customer experience. And it's critical from day one. Otherwise, they think you're just some fly-by-night operation. These are all perceptions, and we've talked about these in the past on other podcasts. That's why having an engaged marketing platform, I call it, is so important, because that's the first thing they see is online, typically, or a business card when they first meet you. And they will make assumptions. And if you've got a crappy-looking business card or a website that I've seen websites that I found out they spent $8,000 to $10,000 on, and it looked like it was thrown together and just did not have a good presentation. That's really critical. So that's your major real estate investment with your small business. Even if you have a storefront, a real storefront, brick and mortar, the online search, the online checking you out before they waste their gas and time is equally as important. Because if they see you've got a badly linked website with very little content, no blog posts, maybe no reviews, whatever, they're going to make a judgment before they even drive out. Now think about how many times you might have done that in your own life. You know, you're wanting to get a new pair of shoes and you checked them out online and they barely showed up. So what did you do? You probably went to the next one that had a bigger presence. So that's why this marketing platform is so critical, and promoting it on a regular basis is so critical. Okay, that's my rant. Small business owners have a presence, promote it, make it look good. I know, it's just shoestring, but there's platforms today, whether it's WordPress, a bunch of them, where you can get websites, not that expensive, have somebody pay them to put it together, give you a decent online piece of real estate, because it's critical. Your marketing materials, and then your promotion. That's critical too. Because if you don't have good quality promotional things online and in person, people are going to make judgment calls. And the thing you want to do is start off with a positive image. and that's critical. John Verlin is my name. You can contact me at jverlin1@yahoo.com. Website's ondemandadvertisingsolutions.com. We'll see you next week. I'll be talking more about ways to make podcasts attractive for you, to educate your prospects, to get them engaged with you before they even come out to your business or go online to your website, because you can bring them in and draw them in. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later.